So, thanks for having me over here. And who are you?
My name is YuChiang.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO and founder of the World Golf Tour, and I guess we're just having a chat today.
Yeah. Now, World Golf Tour is obviously a video game. We're going to see it in a little while, but it's a video game with a twist. It's not for the Xbox or the PlayStation, right?
No, it's something really completely different. And my co-founders and I started this company because we thought that traditional video games that you play on your Xbox, just that business model is just ripe to be changed. And it has to do with a lot of things. One is there's a lot of piracy in terms of games and the way they're being distributed today. Also, the fact that you have to go to Best Buy, buy a $300 Xbox, and then buy multiple $50 games, it's pretty expensive. And the fact is that people that are between the ages of 25 and 55 don't necessarily want to just game on a specific console.
Yep.
What they really want to do is be able to play games on a machine that they already have, and that's really their PC. So when we started the company, we said, hey, what we really need to do is produce a game that can take advantage of all the things that are on the internet, that can be distributed onto their PC, and really have a very low barrier of entry. So when we built this game, we made sure that it could play in any browser that you didn't
Mac
need.
and Windows?
Mac and Windows.
Okay.
It works in just about any browser from Opera to Safari to Chrome to IE and Firefox. And so you don't need to install anything. There's no additional add-ons as long as you have Flash, which 90% of people do have Flash.
Yep.
And you don't have any of the sort of JavaScripting errors or compatibility issues you have with exe files or any of the bugs or anything that people worry about, right? Consumers really worry about having to install something on their computer. So we eliminated all of that with our product. And the beauty of it is it's really easy to get into it. You don't need to download anything. And because of our business model, it's very different than companies like EA and Take-Two or whomever. You don't need to pay to get started.
Right.
So we've really embraced the way that content is being distributed online, and that is a free model where you can participate and get 90% of the content for free. And for us, that means you can go play a bunch of really world-famous courses that are pretty exclusive. They're like $400 tee times. But on our site here, you can go and experience a course like Kiawah Island Ocean Course, which is in South Carolina, and you can just experience it from your living room, and you don't need to pay $1 to do it.
Now, I've played golf games on the Xbox and PlayStation. How I just saw a little bit right before we turned on the cameras about what the gameplay was like. How does it compare to one of the $60 games that you would actually spend a lot of money on?
Well, we would say it's actually better.
How so?
I think visually, we're superior to the games that you play on computers because, like in the Xbox, because instead of having a bunch of artists and animators draw the trees and the water and the land and the grass, we actually go and take a photograph of it. And that's what's really amazing about our product is that what you see at the course is what you get. One of our co-founders, Chad, he basically said, if we're trying to go for photo quality, why don't we just start with a photograph? And so we spent the last 2 years with some really smart scientists that we have here to invent a way where you can play on top of the photograph. And it's very interesting in that basically what we do is something similar to Google Street View, where we have a photographer, they take a photo, it's geotagged, and they're able to then take that photograph and orient it to a coordinate system. So instead of like Google Earth or the streets, what we do is we have a coordinate system of the actual course itself. Yeah. And so we take an aircraft, we fly it over the course, we get it geotagged, and then we're able to locate that photograph within that virtual space.
Wow.
So you're literally walking through a virtual world that we have a fully functional 3D model of. And then when your avatar or location is in that place, we present you with the correct photograph.
How many photographs for one course can you estimate?
Yeah, we take hundreds of thousands of photographs of the courses. We basically cover every square inch of playable space that's available. So you get a very, very accurate representation of that. Now, we actually take Google Street View to one step further, which is they just present you with the photograph and it sits there in front of the coordinate system. So yay, I'm standing here, I'm looking at the right photograph. Well, that's pretty exciting, but it's not quite everything that you would want. What you want to do is be able to interact with that photograph. You want to be able to touch it, you want to be able to feel it, you want to be able to, if there's a door, you want to open it. In our instance, if there's water, your ball falls into it. If the ball is rolling along the green that's in the photograph, we actually have a fully functional 3D system in there where the ball is about 1.5 inches accurate in terms of vertical accuracy. So the greens will roll like the greens as if you're just there. We also have a fully functional physics system that is in the game that is just like, sort of a Halo 3 or any of the first-person shooter games where we have surfaces, we have collisions, we have interactions of objects in there. So our game, I think, is far superior to a lot of the console games because we have all of the sort of back-end systems that they have, but we're able to present them in a way that we don't need artists, and we have a very realistic representation through photographs. And we shoot them at extremely high quality. So you're basically getting HD quality experience of the course in your browser without having to leave your home.
Very cool. Because it's, do you assume it's on the internet because it's in the browser, right?
Yeah.
And so are you able to play with other people then?
Yeah. So the other benefit we have for not having to be tied to your game console and sort of freed up on your computer with a high-speed internet connection is that we can benefit from all the social sort of aspects that are out there. And people always ask, well, do you believe in social gaming and all that stuff? And I'm like, well, that's kind of redundant because gaming from the very beginning, from people rolling dice to playing cards, has always been very, very social. It's only very recently that games were sort of like single game person experiences, sort of the Hollywood movie, right, where the game's all scripted for you and you go play Myst or whatever and you walk through the storyline. But I just think that was just a temporary phase in the gaming industry because they didn't have the connectivity that they have now today. So if you look at the really popular games that happen right now, they're all multiplayer games. World of Warcraft has over 10 million players, and they're all connected, they're all talking, and they're all socializing, and that's the way gaming should be.
Yeah.
And so being online, what we're able to do is benefit from all the stuff that all these entrepreneurs have invented for us in the last couple years.
So you use a headset and you can be talking while you're playing golf?
Yeah, you can do voice over IP. We have a chat client that's already built into the game, so you can do a tee off with 3 other players and play your foursome. You can chat with them the whole time. You can see all their shots. You guys can compete and talk a lot of trash and do what golfers do online.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is that people are actually using our game platform and our beautiful courses as a way to socialize and catch up with their friends.
Yeah.
So one of the most sort of frequent uses we see is that they're 2 college buddies or it's a son and a father who log on online and they have their weekly phone call anyway just to catch up. But instead of doing phone call, they're on a virtual Kiwo Island golf course and they're shooting around a golf at the same time they're chatting and catching up on their daily lives.
Yeah. At Microsoft, my team used to have business meetings because we had people all over the world. We'd have it in a golf game. Yeah. Because if you're shooting up something, you have to pay attention to the game, right? Uh-huh. You're actually actively interactive. But in golf, you're only paying attention to the game when you're actually hitting, right? And then you're sort of loosely paying attention to what the other people are doing. But in that time, you can be talking back and forth to the other 3 players.
That's
while
right.
Somebody's taking a shot.
Yeah, I actually talk to my VCs over the World Golf Tour chat client. So we'll sit there and we'll shoot around, and we'll be, of course they want to know how well the product is performing, but at the same time, they'll send me a little chat text as we're talking along and say, wow, that's an amazing shot, go look at my replay. I just sank a 40-foot putt. So, that's part of what all the sort of modern games are doing now. So you have chat and you're interconnected and you can see other players. But what we've done is we've actually taken that one step even further. And it's really to address the casual player.
Okay.
And so, social networks like Facebook and MySpace and all these places have come up with these great sort of tools and paradigms for how you can find players and communicate with them and leave them messages. And really, it's about communication and collaborating together and having a dialogue with each of the players. And so what we've done is we've taken those tools that they've all sort of developed and progressed over the last couple of years, and we've merged that with a game platform. So all of a sudden, we have a very, very rich community site that is golf specific. Okay. Specifically virtual golf specific. Yeah. So it has your statistics, it has all your replays, your trophies, your awards, and all the stuff that you want. But what it allows people to do is really create a profile, and where they can basically advertise themselves so that they can find other players to play with. And our whole goal is to create a community where...
So it sounds like Facebook for golf.
It is.
It's your own system.
It is.
Now, do you build a client for Facebook or an application for Facebook itself? So if I'm on Facebook, does somebody try to invite me to a golf game in Facebook, or is that separate?
Well, that's the next phase.
Okay.
And so what we've done is we built all the tools on our community site that let you basically play virtual golf and facilitate you to find people within that community, know who's online, make a virtual tee time, post videos of your replays. And then the next step is, well, first of all, we're not naive enough to think that we can build something as great, as Facebook. They spend a lot of time on it. They have a huge community. But what we want to do is sort of bridge the gap, where they use their existing Facebook friends in their groups or their MySpace friends. And then if they want to go play a virtual round, what we do is we basically import them in, make it very seamless for them to come into the site and play a virtual round of golf.
Interesting. Now, how do you guys make money if this is a free game that I can just come to with my browser?
Well, it's very interesting. What's developed over the last year is this notion of in-game microtransactions. And so people like Gaia Online and Club Penguin and all these other companies, what they've basically proven out for us is that you can sell virtual items and make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
so if I want a Tiger Woods shirt, do I pay for that or something?
That's right.
Like that?
You want a black shirt, you want pink shoes, you want a Titleist putter, you want the Pro V1 ball, you want a different type of hat. You pay us a few dollars and you get those items and you get to customize your character. It'll improve your game slightly, just like in real life.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to sort of personalize yourself, and we charge you just a few dollars for each of those.
Now, how is that working out as a business model?
Well, we're just introducing it now, so
Okay.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Because you have, what, about 1 million players that have played the game so far?
Yeah, we've had about 1 million players come in and play, and on average they're spending somewhere around 18 minutes per session.
Wow. That's really long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long time, and they come back about 4 or 5 sessions per week. So, we have a very, very highly engaged audience, and the beauty about our audience is that they're the affluent sort of target demographic that magazines and brands and everybody want to target. So, they're on average 25 to 45 years old. They're male. They're married. They make over $110,000 a year. They're occasionally playing golf. But they love to travel, they love to buy electronics, and it's a very, very clean environment because of the production quality that we have, and because we have a very mature audience. So brand sponsors specifically are very comfortable in advertising.
Now that's interesting, because I live on a real golf course in Half Moon Bay, or one surrounds my house, and the Samsung World Championship was just played there this last weekend. And they had signs all over the place. Are you putting that kind of sponsorship into a virtual tournament or onto the course itself?
Yeah, so that's the second part of our business model, other than the microtransactions, is that we have a sports sponsorship package where we basically derive revenue through sponsors just like any other golf tournament would. So the way we think about it is that we built this technology platform that has aggregated a bunch of people with the specifically targeted demographic, and we're busy out there shooting all these famous world-class golf courses so that they can come and play. But the benefit is all those golf courses we can run virtual events on. And so every week and every month you'll be able to see these events of tournaments and competitions where we can gather hundreds of thousands, if not millions of players together. They compete against each other, and each of those events will be sponsored, just like you would see on the PGA Tour.
Wow. And the technology you're using is Flash to build the game, or can you tell me a little bit about the technology, because that's pretty interesting.
The front-end technology is Flash, and we've been able to sort of manipulate it away. And the way that Flash is progressing, especially into Flash 10, where there's a ton of features in there that help you make a game. But the reason we chose it is because there's just compatibility issues with everything else out there, right? So Flash is about as ubiquitous as you can get. On the back end, we have a fully functioning, basically a C++ server that uses a lot of .NET technology also, but it looks almost identical to any sort of massively multiplayer game that's out there. So EA spends tens of millions of dollars building these massive systems for like Sims Online or whatever. And we're fortunate enough that a lot of our engineers actually came from EA. So we have this this back-end system that's a very, very robust gaming system. But what we've also done is been able to merge with it some technologists who are very familiar with the Web 2.0 stuff. So in terms of programming with Rails or Ajax, we're able to create a community site with the same type of technology that you would see on the other Web 2.0 sites.
Yeah. Anything else I need to know about the game, about the company? Or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And we're going to get a look at the game
Yeah,
now,
you're going to see a demo. So
thanks for talking to me about it and inviting me over. It's pretty cool.
No problem.
It's pretty cool that the game quality that you can get into a browser now. It's actually pretty surprising. You know, it's the kind of quality I expect on a console. So
it's really a game changer because, you know, it used to be that you'd have to go through like an EA pipeline to distribute your game.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now you can get that level of quality of gameplay, but you can just get in your browser, and then it opens up all these other different business revenue streams that you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't produce it in your browser.
Is the company only going to be golf forever, or are you going to do other games that fit into the browser as well?
Well, we think that golf is a really large market, first of
Yeah.
all. There's over 20 million golfers in the US alone. On average, they spend somewhere about $70,000 in their lifetime on golf and golf-related purchases. But yeah, our technology and our platform can definitely do other games. So, you know, we're just trying to remain focused and be a disciplined company, and then go explore the opportunities as they come.
Thank you very much.
Great.